Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Football Show with Yash and Neeraj. So, the domestic football season has finally come to its conclusion, and we've seen a host of new champions this season again, with uh, Inter Milan winning in Serie A and Rangers winning in the Scottish Premier League. The French league finally saw a change with PSG not winning the title this time, and I'm damn happy that PSG has finally been stopped. So Yash, let's just run through how this remarkable season played out and how a young Lille side went and surprised and stopped that rampaging PSG side.
Thanks, Neeraj. I totally agree with you that I'm happy PSG's monopoly has been broken. And it's been a season of monopolies been breaking, except for the Bundesliga, of course. But yeah, back to Lille. I think it can't be explained in terms of a single season because the current manager, Christopher Galtier, was brought in at a time when Lille were facing relegation 4 years ago, and what he's done from then for the club is nothing short of amazing. So Lille avoided the drop that year, and every year since then they've been steadily improving, despite selling some of their major stars. So some of them would be Nicola Pepe to Arsenal, Gabriel to Arsenal again. So yeah, I mean I can see the smile, and it's relevant because Arsenal signed both Pepe and Gabriel, but
And they dropped
finished
further, and they just
regretting.
dropped further while Lille went up.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, I mean, the, but the way it's come together this season for Lille is just brilliant, and they managed to do it without their fans in the stadium, without support. So that just makes it more of an achievement, I feel, because of the fact that you can't rely on home support, you can't rely on emotions anymore. The entire game just boils down to tactics, and that's where I think Lille have been brilliant this season. So purely tactically, they've managed to outclass the rest of the league, made it impossible to play against, and yeah, they've been great.
Amazing, amazing, absolutely incredible. You know that the way PSG has been stopped. They end up winning the league like with 6 games to go, and they put their full focus on the Champions League. Though they don't win it because they just lose in the semis or the quarters. This time has been something which is completely different, and finally we can get rid of that tag of Farmers League. So I think it's going to go to Bundesliga now, the Farmers League. So how did this happen? What's the story around Lille coming up? You told me that they avoided the drop a few seasons back, and they've
Correct.
also sold a few of their main players, Gabriel, Nicola
Correct.
Pepe. They sold Victor Osimhen to Napoli again, a main striker.
Yes.
So who got them the
Yes.
goals? How did the story build?
So tactically, it's been amazing because Lille have scored among the top four in the league. Lille have scored the least goals this season. Lille have only 62 goals compared to PSG who have 80 plus, and the Monaco and Lyon who have 75 plus goals. So there's a clear difference of 10 or 12 goals there. But where their main focus has been is on their defense, where they've conceded only 22 goals this season. That's it.
Wow.
So, and this defense is, I mean, it's. Can you believe that this defense is built on a combined value of $7 million in transfer fee? That's it.
That's Leicester
The,
level. That's Leicester level, really.
Absolutely. So you can see the parallels there. So they've got Jose Font on a free transfer from China few years ago, and they've got Sven Botman from the Ajax under 21s for 7 million. So that's their two center backs, and they've got Mike Magnon in the goalkeeper's position. So the three of them are extremely adept at dealing with crosses. Very good in the air. They win absolutely everything. So the entire game plan, the that how Leela set up or how Leela structured is in a flat 4-4-2, very similar to the Manchester United of old, where we had Rooney and Tevez playing as the two. But for Lille, it's Burak Yilmaz and Jonathan David, the Canadian striker, young Canadian striker, who's been playing in that 4-4-2, and Renato Sanchez, the
Golden boy.
yeah, I mean the golden boy of Europe, whose career was derailed. Actually, he's made a fantastic resurgence at Lille. So the entire game plan is to ensure that the teams facing Lille go out into the wider areas from where they have to fire crosses into the box. And the three people, Maignan, Font, and Botman, winning absolutely everything in the air. So the opposition attack is absolutely nullified. While transitioning into attack, it's more of a counter-attacking, gegenpressing sort of system where Sanchez will push up and the covering midfielder will come back and cover the spaces. And you've got Jonathan David pressing from one side, while Yilmaz is covering the half spaces. So what this does is this just gives very few options for a team to play through the center. Again, pushing them out wide where they can win the ball back very quickly, transition, and hit teams on the break. So Burak Yilmaz has got nearly 16 to 17 goals this season, and he got the decisive goal in the last game as well. He's just been absolutely their talisman, but it's not a solo performance up in front as well, because what Jonathan David brings is that young, energetic pressing, which forces opposition teams into creating mistakes. So almost in all of Lille's games, it's been 2-1, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. So the succession of goals, they haven't scored too many. And offense can win you games, but it's the defense that actually wins you titles. And we see it playing out in the League One season.
That's very true. I think it's a very overused saying, but I think at the end of the day, it is true. Defense wins you titles, and the offense gets you all the goals and gets you up the table, but defense is what wins you titles. And I think this is a very good example of that. PSG has the likes of Mbappe, Neymar. They bought an Icardi this season, and yet they just fell off by a point or so. Also, Yash, it was a very interesting title race. It was not just between these two sides. Monaco was in there, PSG was obviously there, Lyon was in there, and at the end of the day, it was a very closely fought race. Though it ended up being a small gap, but three teams were there in the final day of the season. So not just looking at this season, how do you think this is going to help in the coming seasons as well? That it's not just PSG and one team, because we saw Monaco surprised a few seasons back, but their team was completely ripped apart. All the main stars were taken away. So how do you think a bunch of teams being there at the top is going to help the French league moving forward?
That's a very pertinent question, Neeraj. But like you said, we saw the Monaco team getting ripped apart. I fear something very similar is going to happen with Lille as well. So Sven Botman is on the radar of clubs like Liverpool and Manchester United. Jonathan David is in talks with a lot of Bundesliga clubs, and is also targeting a move to the Premier League. As far I think Chelsea are in for him. Similar to Renato Sanchez. So the truth about the League One is that the other teams just do not have the financial resources and the backing and the firepower to actually compete with the PSG. In fact, to even get to the point where Lille are today, they had to raise 95 million through the sale of Nicolas Pepe and Gabriel to actually fund the kind of players that they have funded and brought in. So the sad reality is, even though this was a closely fought season, I don't see the other teams competing, because take for example Lyon, which was in the title race for quite some time before their 3-2 defeat to Lille. Lyon's talisman is Memphis Depay, who is angling for a move to Barcelona at the moment. So I think the sad part is that apart from PSG, the other teams have players who are angling for moves to bigger leagues,
Right.
which makes me fear that we'll see PSG come back to the top next season. Even though there are outflows at PSG too, there are rumors that I'm hearing about Mbappe to Liverpool, Mbappe to Real Madrid. I don't know what's going on in uh, that dressing room as well. But yeah, I mean, I just feel PSG are gonna come back with a vengeance and win by 15 points next
Oh
season.
dear. Oh dear.
Business as usual.
That's not what we want to see. That's not what fans do want to see for sure. And even if Mbappe does leave at the end of the day, I think it will be hard to replace him. But the money that they will be getting, they will be able to invest it well, get some player who can replace him, maybe a couple of players who can replace Mbappe's goals. But if someone ends up leaving a Lille or a Lyon, like Memphis Depay or any of the other names that you mentioned in Lille, or even Monaco for that matter, I don't think they would be able to attract those high quality, high caliber of players that
Correct.
easily. I think the money is there with PSG, and I think PSG will want to buy players. Even if they don't sell anybody, they will be going for all the big stars around.
Correct.
So, yeah, even I fear that PSG will be back again next season. But we've seen a lot of strange things happen in football. We saw a lot of strange things happen this season. All we can do
Yes.
is hope that this will continue again next season. Strange things can happen. Let's just hope that happens again next season, and we see one of the maybe Monaco or Lyon surprise these two sides. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yes. And yeah, I mean, we can always, as football fans, we can always hope for fairy tale endings. And this Lille's team, such a special team, they've given us this fairy tale ending this season.
True that. Let's just hope that they can come again next season, mount a good title race as defending champions, and not fizzle out like how Liverpool did this season. I just hope that doesn't happen. And also hoping that Lyon and Monaco can also pose a good challenge next season, and it doesn't end up being a PSG show all over again. So
Yes.
great. Thanks, Yash. Thanks to all the listeners, and stay tuned for another episode. Let's hope for another great League One season again next season, and let's hope that it doesn't become Farmers League all over again. So stay tuned. We'll be back again. Thank you.